You can always spot a bad driver by the way he parks. So let's take a look at some of the world's worst parking jobs ever caught on tape. Here's a tip. If you've got bad brakes, don't park on an incline. The group steps off the curb, and their happy day goes straight downhill. Along with this poorly parked car. They say that in the future, cars will fly. This driver says, why wait? One minute he was rolling down the highway, and the next minute he found himself parked in the side of a semi. And the driver of the truck?
He felt a bump. He ends up checking his mirrors like they do often and saw a car there and said, well, time to stop.
This man loves to tinker with engines, so he rebuilt the family car with his very own hands and parked it in his very own home. Unfortunately, his very own home is on the 6th floor of this Russian high-rise. Not to worry, a 25-ton crane comes to the rescue. The man removes a picture window and gingerly nudges his vehicle out, careful not to scratch it. Betty thinks twice before he parks his car in the dining room again. Now the car slowly floats back down to where he once resided, the planet Earth. The high-rise repairman drives off into the sunset and into the biggest pothole in town. In Illinois, this elderly driver inexplicably parks his car on an empty stretch of railroad tracks. Luckily, a friendly citizen stops by to see if he can help. It takes a little doing, but the man finally persuades the motorist to make tracks, off the tracks, and none too soon. A train barrels out of nowhere, smashing into the car at 65 miles per hour. Thanks to the safety-minded passerby, the driver is alive. But his car, or what's left of it, is now a hood ornament on a 150-ton railroad engine. Here's another parking tip. Don't leave your car directly behind a 6-ton dump truck, especially when the dump truck driver is a dumb truck driver who can't afford the extra 2 seconds it takes to check the rearview mirror. The driver of this new subcompact should have thought twice before parking in a construction site. But this isn't the worst parking spot in the world. That would be here in New Zealand, where drivers trying to park at the Gisborne boat ramp have a huge problem. His name is Homer, and he's a 15-foot-long, 4,500-pound elephant seal who likes to turn their parked cars into punching bags. Watch as Homer goes 10 rounds with this late model sedan. Turns out, solid steel is no match for this heavyweight. And finally, from our All's Well That Ends Well department, in Alberta, Canada, neighbors, police, and firefighters are unable to stop this black car, which is spinning circles in the street without a driver.
When we arrived, the car was going into circular motion at fast idle, and we couldn't stop it.
And who's responsible for this out-of-control sedan? A dad who ran into the house and left the motor running and his kids in the back seat. His 5-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son shifted the car into reverse, then jumped from the spinning vehicle and escaped with little more than motion sickness. After 90 nauseating minutes of car spins, a tire blows, and the vehicle approaches Kathy Letty's house, where it very carefully parks itself in her front porch. And what was Kathy's reaction to the new parking spot?
I was just going to call it Kathy's Drive-In.
Some of the world's worst drivers are the ones who can't keep their cool, even in their own car. These hotheads behind the wheel are mad as hell. Inverness, Scotland. This vehicle is broken down, and the driver is about to do the same. They say you can't beat a dead horse. Apparently, there's no rule about dead cars. The frustrated motorist tries to give it a kickstart, but to no avail. After a brief pause to collect his thoughts, he tries one last time to get a leg up on this limit. land of high culture, elegance, and refined manner. Or is it?
5 times in 2 weeks.
This driver quickly turns his anger from the policeman who pulled him over to the cameraman who's catching him on tape.
If you don't get that camera away from me, I'm gonna shove it up your ring piece.
Excuse me? That's not exactly the King's English, now is it?
I'm gonna shove it up your ring piece.
Oh, it's not a very nice thing to say, is it? If you go anywhere near it, I mean, you'll get kicked, right?
Get off of
What are you
me!
going to do about it, eh? You're going to hit me, are you?
Are you watching this?
Just get in your car and
Get
go away.
off of me!
Finally, the police officer has heard enough, and he offers the only sensible solution.
Just get in your car and go away, all right?
Hands off of me,
Go in your car and go away.
Meanwhile, back in the USA, this driver is being interviewed by police.
You never been arrested before for anything?
No.
But that's about to change.
You have any trouble with me looking? No problem.
But in fact, there's a big problem, and it's about to send this driver over the edge. These officers must have found something they didn't like, because they handcuffed the driver and placed him in the back of the cruiser. And what do they find? A 15-pound bag of marijuana. As the cops continue their search, the suspect has a few moments alone to quietly reflect on the jail time he's facing.
Oh, I can't believe it! Oh, no! 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 God, I can't believe it! Oh, my God! Ah! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Help me! Help me, God! Help me!
The driver tries to compose himself, but he can't.
Oh! Oh! No! Please! No! 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 Please! No! No! Please! God Almighty! No! Please! Please! No! No! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Help me!
Finally, the officer comes over to check on him.
What was that?
You hollering at me? No, sir. I'm just freaked out. I can't believe it's happening.
And we can't believe it was all caught on tape. So the next time you're feeling mad as hell, keep your cool and keep it to yourself.
Are you watching this?
Next up, have a ball with the guys who turned dangerous driving into a spectator sport. And when bad weather strikes, bad drivers hit the road. Then later, when a devilish driver takes too much BS from City Hall, he decides to give some back when the world's worst drivers returns.